Hey guys, and welcome to another The Cultured Boys episode. I'm Pepe and I'm joined by Nathan, and today we're going to be discussing our favourite Dragon Ball games. When we say favourite, it could actually be some of our least favourite as well. We're just going to discuss Dragon Ball games in general, the wide spectrum that have come out in years past. So, yeah. How you doing, Nate? You good?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I'm excited. As previously established, a huge Dragon Ball fan, so I'm quite excited about this one. I obviously have played a lot of the games, so have you. Bro, where do you even start?
Where do we start? Okay, cool. I'm going to start here. I'm going to go in with this early because, it was probably one of my first Dragon Ball games I actually picked up. It's Legendary Super Warriors for the Game Boy Color. Most people probably won't know what this game is in terms of Dragon Ball games. But if you go back way back in the day when there was I say way back in the day for the Western audience anyway, because there wasn't much Dragon Ball representation in games before then, I don't think, in the 90s.
No, I don't believe so.
Yeah, so with Legendary Super Warriors, it's a game on the Game Boy Color, and it was a whole card-based fighter rather than your typical, the most popular Dragon Ball games, i.e. Your fighters or your Raging Blast or those kind of games. But Legendary Super Warriors was this pixel card game fighter where you it's turn-based thing going on. You power up, you do it's health bars. I'm not even sure how to explain it that well because I'm actually so hyped about it right now describing it.
Let me just describe to you how hyped. This man owns 2 copies of the game. So his hype knows no bounds, people. He loves it so much. He's got two copies.
I think because the only reason why I had 2 copies. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna be real here. I've actually owned 3 copies of the game.
Oh my god, he's owned 3.
I've owned 3 of it. So I basically bought the game way back when it came out. In God, it must have been early 2000s, I think.
Well, showing our age here.
Yeah, maybe even earlier. But
Oh god.
I got this and I basically played the death out of it. I completed the story mode, but I didn't actually know how to play at the time as well, which is a really weird discussion point. Because I just as a kid I was just pressing buttons and I was like, oh, this might be cool, and then half the time I'd die and not realize why I was dying.
I mean, that's every game you ever play as a kid, innit?
Yeah,
we
exactly.
talked about it before, in previous episodes, playing Pokemon and stuff. When you're a kid, you don't know, you don't read anything, you just put it in and start smashing buttons until eventually you win, and then you're like, yeah, I get it now, but you didn't, and you never will.
But yeah, I'll continue on that point in a second. But yeah, 3 copies of the game. The first one I owned, I think I must have traded to my mate when I was probably 10 or 11, and I didn't even realize that I traded it because I just couldn't find it. And I think years and years after, I was like, I don't think I've lost this game. I think I must have traded it for something else, someone's Pokemon Red or something.
Okay, so, at least it was Pokemon. It could have been worse. You could have traded it for some random Game Boy trash, because God knows we had loads of trash on Game Boy.
I'm really I think it's Pokemon. Let me emphasize that I think it's Pokemon, because I also have a doubt in my mind that I might have traded it for Frogger.
Oh, Pepe.
Yeah, that's the other option that's there, and I'm
Pepe. No, don't give me another fucking Mario situation here. The wounds are still fresh. Don't give me new injuries, okay?
I had this mentality I've completed this game, it's fine. But anyway, years later, when I realized I want this game back again, this is probably when I was 15. I pick up a copy of the game. It doesn't end up saving, so I need to buy another copy of the game. So I end up basically over the span of 15 years, I end up buying 3 copies of the game. 2 of which I can't anymore, and the 1 game that I have all my save data on, which I'm going to come to the point which I was saying earlier about how I didn't actually know how to play it. So, as I said, turn-based card game RPG thing. And what was it, 7-year-old me I must have been? I didn't know what was going on in this game. I just see Dragon Ball, and there's Piccolo there, and there's Gohan. Literally the first level of the game, I'm getting absolutely dicked by Piccolo. He's it's supposed to be the intro thing where they're teaching you how to play the game. And I'm I don't understand this, but I'm obviously not reading the bloody rules. And I see the Masenko card come up, and I was like, oh, I know Masenko. That's the Gohan move where he does the thing. But I can't use it. Why can't I use it? Obviously, you have to build fucking key to use it. And the only way that I know how to build key is by getting punched. So, so I'm like taking damage like deliberately to try and build up key in this game. And like I just keep on dying. And I'm like, what is this happening? And then anyway, that fast forward that I didn't know how to play a game. And then fast forward to probably 2012. As I said, I bought the game again when I was 15, but I didn't really play it as much. And then randomly picked up again in 2012 and absolutely smashed the shit out of this game. I'll tell you, Nathan. I literally went ham on Legendary Super Warriors. Okay. I say this. Like, the game has, for its time, for a Game Boy Color game, it had a huge roster. Literally, it had like all of the Ginyu Force in it. You had... what was it? You had like Frieza, you had the androids in there, like all the androids. From the mainline series anyway, none of the movie bastards. You had like about you had like 4 versions of Goku, like the whole like normal Goku, Super Saiyan 1, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3. Like remember, this is like early 2000s Game Boy Color game, like, and like what was it? You had like certain other bits which you wouldn't get the whole Ginyu Force in certain games until I think it must have been Tenkaichi, I think. Where you got to play as Berta and Jace and Goldo.
Don't remember, actually.
Yeah, I feel like it's that, because I know like certain Budokai games, you'd only get to fight Raccoon and Captain Ginyu. I think that's where it was anyway.
Hot take, they're the only important ones, by the way, though. Oh, come on.
Yeah,
Goldo doesn't do shit. And then Jace and Berta, if they're not together, they're fucking useless. They get wrecked by Goku immediately, so...
You say this, but Berta... He became one of my favourite characters in Dragon Ball just because I played Legendary Super Warriors and couldn't beat him. I was stuck on that level for ages. And even though Bert has basically nothing, he does nothing. He says he's got like super speed.
He's the fastest in the universe, but the show establishes the stronger you are, the faster you are. So he wasn't the fastest because his captain's stronger than him, Goku's stronger than him, Raccoon is stronger than him, and Frieza's stronger than him. So that's 4 people already.
But nonetheless, Burr became one of my favourite characters in Dragon Ball because of Legendary Super Warriors, even though he had basically zero good screen time. He was just there like getting dicked by Goku is what we happened. And then he got killed by Vegeta afterwards. He got his neck snapped or something, or his head crushed. But yeah, back in 2012, I played a shit out game. I unlocked pretty much every single character in this game. And to do that, you have to with certain characters, you can't lose a whole match. Like if you lose a match, that's basically a dead end for unlocking a character. Like if you want to unlock Vegeta, and you lose a match and then just pray, okay, cool, I'll just restart it. Like, no, that's it. Like, you're not unlocking Vegeta anymore. That dream's dead. So bear in mind, this is the whole campaign of the game. Imagine if you lose one match and didn't realize, and then that's it. You're not getting that character until you start the whole game again. Like that was like an infuriating part.
That sucks by today's standards, but that is a game from the early 2000s, late 90s. That was pretty common. You know, we were still having essentially like arcade mechanics where basically if you fucked up, you fucked up. You have to do the whole thing again. Be lucky there was a save, to be honest.
It's very true, but like this game, man, I'm getting hyped up about just talking about it. I probably would go back to it again. Actually, you know what? I did go back to it again last month. I picked it up again. I picked up this game last month, and it is like I just played a little bit of free mode. I played a little bit as some of the characters. Just did like a few battles here and there. And that's another thing. It had a free mode where you can unlock cards and that, like extra cards for like your different fighters and everything. And that was like really cool.
Here's you with 3 copies of this game, right? In 15 years, I've never owned 1 copy of this game.
Dude.
I think I played only because I was at your house one time. That was it. And you just sort of turned it on and dropped me in, and I was like, I don't know what's going on. And I think you were fighting Nappa at the time or something.
Yeah.
I just got wrecked, and I was like, I don't get it.
Yeah. Like, that's the thing. Like, I was surprised that as a kid I stuck with this game. Actually, I'll tell you why I stuck with the game. It's because it's bloody Dragon Ball. Like,
Yeah.
if it wasn't Dragon Ball, I'd be like, I don't care about this. Like, but like, I was so determined to like get on with this game, and like, it just stuck with me. Like, people like, I've always wanted another version of it, but obviously it wouldn't because it's just like a completely redundant game at this point. No one's gonna pick this kind of game up again. I don't think so anyway. But like for me, like Legendary Super Warriors has that place in my heart, and it is just like it means so much to me. Oh,
See,
man.
listening to you talk about Legendary Super Warriors makes me think of an even more obscure Dragon Ball game that you would have only experienced if you were there. Do you remember going on the Toonami website and playing a Flash-based Dragon Ball game where you probably as Goku, I think you could play as Goku or Piccolo, and it was basically fighting like Vegeta or Goku or whoever. Like I think it only went up to Frieza Saga because I think that's all
It
we
did,
had,
yeah.
right? Do you remember this? Where you're basically like in the corners and you have two levels and you can shoot Ki Blast or a Kamehameha, or you can fly over and there's a little animation they do, you know, the in-air like clashes. Do you remember this game?
I remember this game very like I tell you what, Nathan, I forgot about it completely for years and years until you've just mentioned it now. Like
Right?
all the memories just come flooding back right now.
This is what I'm saying. It's one of those things where you literally had to be there to experience it. I don't think you can anymore, especially because Flash is dead now. But yeah, dude, I remember spending so much time as a kid trying to play this game. I would die constantly, but I would be sat in front of the computer for hours just playing this thing. I don't even think you got Super Saiyan in it, or maybe you did, and I was just that bad at it as a kid.
I think I remember fighting Frieza in it, Final Form Frieza. I
I
remember
remember
that.
dying a lot to Final Form Frieza.
I remember Ginyu. I specifically remember Ginyu and Frieza fighting against them. I don't. I can't remember how the game played properly, and I can't remember. I remember playing as Goku in it. I do remember Goku. But I don't think I played as any other character.
I think you could play as Piccolo. I sort of remember playing as Piccolo. I remember. I think it was only like 4 buttons.
Yeah, it would
To
have
be
been
honest,
basic
right?
as hell, wouldn't it? Yeah.
4 buttons and probably like mouse click on 2 random like on-screen buttons. But I'm pretty sure it was just like WASD or arrow keys because they probably didn't even do WASD.
Yeah, I reckon it was arrow keys. I really do think it was arrow.
Yeah,
Maybe
it was.
even mouse controls could have been an option. To be fair.
Yeah, it probably was. But it was probably arrow keys and then maybe like spacebar or something. But yeah, this browser game, everybody played that when it first came out because Dragon Ball came out for us, at least in English in the UK, like around the super late 90s, like early 2000s. So everybody was obsessed with it at the time because it was the hotness, right? And then you go to school and everyone's like, did you play this game? And you're like, what? There's a game? Because like Pepe said earlier, we really didn't have anything else. Like Legendary Super Warriors on Game Boy Color was like, that was it. As far as I can remember, that was it. And I didn't even know that game existed as a kid.
Yeah, I think it was that and Ultimate Battle 22 as well on
Oh my
PlayStation.
God.
Because
and Final Bout. Oh my
Final
God.
Bout, yes. Okay, I know we were just talking about that Flash game, and it is one of those ones that we like remember clearly, and like it was there.
There's
But,
only so much you could say about it. It was just a browser game.
like, we need to talk about the PlayStation 1 like Dragon Ball games because Ultimate Battle 22, hands down, I put so much time into that.
I hated that one. I hated Ultimate Battle 22. I put in more time in Final Bout, funny enough, which is arguably the worst of the two.
Oh yeah, I've tried playing Final Bout like recently, and it is God. Oh, the controls are fucking awful in it.
The controls are terrible, and the game is difficult. It is really friggin' hard. The only way I managed to win the game, right, was by playing as Kid Goku, as in GT Kid Goku. And because he's shorter than everyone else, most people's attacks just went over his head. So I would just spam like kick.
Yeah, okay, I can understand.
Like I would hack at ankles. I was that kid. but that was the only way I could figure out how to win.
Oh, that game, like literally, like the thing is with that game as well, like I couldn't actually. I don't know if I was being stupid or whatever, but like none of my save data worked in it. So every time I booted up the game, it would go back to the base roster. Is that a thing that happened?
I think it was a thing because to unlock most of the roster, I believe you had to put in the cheat codes that was in the manual.
Yeah, okay, I didn't look at the cheat codes. Clearly, I remember doing that in Ultimate Battle 22 because you get 5 extra characters from that one.
Yeah, in final bout, I believe the cheat codes only unlock like 2 or 3 characters. But like both of these games back then when they came out early, both of them came out on PlayStation 1 in the UK like really early 2000s. Spoilers everywhere for us. We just basically got in the series.
God, yeah.
We couldn't have been further than Freezer at best, right?
Yeah.
Early Namek. And you got Ultimate Battle 22 that's showing off Super Saiyan 4, like Super Saiyan 3, Boo, Cell, androids. Like, you're seeing all this stuff and you're like, I don't know what this is, but it's Dragon Ball. It's cool. And Final Bout was all GT as well. That was all based off GT, and we wouldn't get that until way later.
God, yeah, that was like. I just remember I think I picked up Final Bout in Asda of all places. That was a really random thing. Like that you just find it in a supermarket rather than a game store.
Dude, that's how you always got stuff. I think I got mine in a Wilkinson's.
Yeah, it's so random, these places. But yeah, like I remember with like what you're saying about the spoiler thing. I remember I remember the Cell stuff. I think when I was playing it, like it a lot more like opened up like the idea of the characters. You know what I mean? Like sort of the series got to a point where I kind of knew who they were. But I didn't know any of the the Boo Saga characters. So I see Goku with fucking like long ass hair, and I'm like, what the fuck is it? Who the fuck is Gogeta? That was the thing as well. I was like, wait, what the hell is this? Like, is this just like a made up character they've just done? Because that wasn't even in the main series. That was in a movie.
Yeah.
And
Fusion Reborn, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, the Janemba one. And then Mr. Satan's there as well. I'm like, who the fuck is this dude? This is like some like guy with an afro. Like, is he gonna be powerful? And then he's just like throwing like grenades about and shit. Like, he's not using beams. I was like, I was so confused by that. And God, there's so many spoilers, like you said, in that game. And
yeah, because I mean, at least for me, when I got both games, I know I just said earlier like it was spoilers because they came out in the early 2000s. I didn't get it till way later. Like I picked both of these up at a Wilkinson's bargain bin. Like I think my mum gave me 10 quid, and that's what I came out with, both of those on PS1.
Jeez.
Like we were all on PS2 by the time. By the time I got those games, I think I was 13. So we would have at least been on Cell Saga.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
I think we had just finished Cell Saga, but I opened this game, I put it in, and I'm like, oh, there's all these other people. What? But do you also remember, right? Picking a character in Ultimate Bout 22 was the hardest thing to do. They did that annoying like collage of characters, right?
Yeah.
But then they're awkwardly in diagonals, but you can't really move accurately in diagonals on the PS1 because whoever coded the character select, you ended up going like 4 characters to the left of what you wanted or in another direction, and it was always the most infuriating thing.
I completely get what you mean. Like again, like I've got nostalgia goggles on right now as well. So I'm looking at these games like, oh my god, this is the hypest thing. This is like so cool. And then like you said, it's the controls and that that select screen. Like where it just like it looked really cool. It looked really visually appealing. And as a kid, you're like, oh my god, look at all these guys like all on one screen, like full body image art. And
I mean, it's basically a lot of the anniversary art nowadays, where they do all the they do that a lot now, where it's just a collage, all the characters standing together. But when that's a select screen, right, for your character, and this is still back in the day where they like, I think you probably had like 10 seconds to pick or something. If you're still scrolling around trying to get to your guy or your girl, your character, and you're not there. You just get stuck with someone else.
I remember, like, I think the most annoying characters to get were the ones that you had to put the codes in for as well, because obviously they're the ones that like are on the far edges of the screen, so you want to try and get to them.
Mate, don't even get me started about the code, because you have to put that in before the intro finishes.
Yes.
But if you hit a button wrong, the intro skips and you didn't input it properly. So you have to sit and wait for it to start again. Gaming was hard back then.
And you couldn't be slow with that code either. You had to put it in fast. Like, if you did it button by button, that shit won't work. You got to like put that in like within 10 seconds.
And don't forget, none of us, I mean, I say none of us, I didn't memorize it. All these codes are separate, like 4 separate pages or whatever in the manual. So you put one in and you have to quickly flick to the next page and put the next one in. It wasn't one code for all 4.
Yeah.
You had to put in 4 separate codes and be as quick as possible. Or you had to wait until the intro screen started again. And the only way you knew is if you heard like a ding or something.
It is, yeah. Oh, man. That noise as well. Right? The moment you said that ding, like the noise of the Ultimate Battle 22 ding when you put in the code, I remember that shit. That shit is playing in my mind right now. And like...
Yeah, it's because it was an accomplishment when you fucking heard it. Because it probably took you a solid 5 minutes to do it.
When I first did it, man, I was so hyped as a kid. I was like, oh my god, I finally get access to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because Super Saiyan 3 Goku is actually my favourite transformation of him as well. So,
Is it? Okay, interesting.
like, and I didn't know who he was at the time. I just saw this like really long-haired Goku, and I was like, this is sick. Also, Ultimate Battle 22 had like some absolute banging tunes in it. It had what was it? Hironobu Kageyama's Trunks theme in it. Like, it had the instrumental for that in the game. And, like, it was like, I remember listening to the song, I was like, oh, this is cool. And then I realised that it is actually a full song that's available, like, outside the game as well.
Oh,
So,
okay. I'd have to take your word for it. Because as you can tell from these recordings, I didn't play it much because it frustrated the fuck out of me. And it still does. I played those games maybe like 15 years ago by this point, and my blood still boils to the same temperature and ferocity it did as a 13-year-old me. I'm genuinely really pissed off right now. These memories, they burn so bright and so hard.
man. Let's try and move on to some games that are a bit more favourable then.
Yeah, okay. I want to talk about the beginning of a great series of Dragon Ball games. Budokai 1. I remember I got my dad to buy me a gaming magazine. I don't remember which one, because I was walking through the supermarket and I saw Goku on the cover. And he was Super Saiyan at the time, right? And I was like, oh my god, it's Goku. This started my like gaming obsession with Dragon Ball, because that magazine not only had Budokai 1, which looked really cool at the time, because you're like, oh my god, a good 3D Dragon Ball game, not Final Battle, which was trash. And it also put out, because as you know, as most kids back then, you had a handheld console. You might not have had the home console. You know, you probably didn't have a PS2 or whatever, but your parents probably got you a Game Boy. And it also had one of my favorites in it. Legacy of Goku. The first one, right? The first one out of all of them is trash, I will admit. But both of these are the start of 2 really good Dragon Ball gaming franchises, which are both, unfortunately nowadays, dead.
Yeah, it's a very good point about them. Like, just like the both of those. Like okay, let me start with Budokai first, because this is the one I actually know about.
Let's get these going, because we can almost skip the first 2. Let's face it, we want to talk about the third one, but we need a little history, a little rundown.
100%. So okay, so Budokai. Like, I got it on the GameCube. So it was a bit delayed after the original Budokai came out.
I had it on PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I had to wait a little bit longer than you guys. I remember getting this game, and the graphics on it were so good, like, for the time.
Yeah, it looked amazing, didn't it? Like,
yeah, and like the music in it as well. The one thing about the Budokai music throughout the whole series is that I think it's absolutely godly, But then the sad thing is, it's all fucking plagiarized.
Yeah, dude,
Every single-
plagiarized a huge chunk of it, which is even worse because Budokai 3's opening is amazing. It's my favorite of it. Like, and that was
Yeah.
the first Japanese song I ever memorized, or what counts for memorized. I'm pretty sure at the time I thought I was getting it word for word, but I still to this day love that song, but it is plagiarized as
Is it?
fuck. Yeah, that's why it wasn't in the remake. You know, the
Oh, I
HD
didn't know. I
collection.
didn't know that.
Yeah,
That one was
'cause
plagiarized as
in-
well.
Yeah, because in the HD collection on 360 and PS3, do you remember we bought it and we played, and I was like, oh, it doesn't have the opening on Budokai 3. That's sad. Why is that? Turns out part of that song, part of the melody is plagiarized.
Okay, that's. I didn't see. I thought it was just some of the background music. I didn't realize.
No,
That
some
the
of
opening was
some of the theme music. The opening song for Budokai 3 has a small riff from I can't remember who it is, but it's from a like recording artist, like a band
Yeah.
who are
Oh man.
pretty well known. And if you hear it side by side, it is almost exactly the same.
Okay, like either way, I've got that downloaded now. I don't care. It's staying with me at least. At least I can listen to that song again, even though it won't be on the actual games.
Yeah,
But anyway, yeah, Budokai, like the first one, they only went up to the Cell Saga, so I finished the Cell Saga, which is really strange, especially since Ultimate Battle 22 and Final Bout went way further than them. But
it was most likely because it was a proper good 3D game. Because it wasn't. If you go back now, it looks really pixelated. You know, like it's really polygonal. But at the time, it was like cutting edge. It was super smooth and it's cell shaded, and Cell Saga was probably about as much as they could actually fit on a disc.
Right. But that was like all the characters in that, like it just felt like such a good game, especially as a kid. You just involved in that Dragon Ball universe, like with that.
Yeah,
And
you get to be the characters, and you get to go through as 3D Goku and Piccolo and Vegeta and or play through the scenarios, and it's amazing. And then each iteration actually improves. Because Budokai
100%.
2 was even better than that, minus the weird board game thing. That was
Yes.
strange. And I think that's why it wasn't included, because a lot of people
Yeah.
probably didn't like that. I didn't like it. I just wanted to be able to, like mission to mission, fight to fight. Not, oh, by the way, you can skip a fight because Raditz is like 10 moves ahead of you all the way across this board game, like this board, and you've got to chase him down, but you've only got like whatever, or there's a different win condition. It was strange, but like graphically and mechanically, it was an improvement, a great improvement, because in the first one you had to do specific button combo inputs to do like a Kamehameha. It was like 4 squares and then triangle or something, or 4 squares and circle, and that's how you did like the Kamehameha. You did a little melee combo and then it worked. I believe Budokai 2 was when they scrapped that, and then they put in the capsule system, so you could just like
Oh yeah.
direction and circle, and then you just did the special move.
That was good. That was a good improvement actually. I think with Budokai 2 as well, it had and Budokai 1 arguably, it had those extra characters in it as well that you wouldn't that exclusive to the game, if you will.
Yeah.
Sort of like, so in Budokai 1 you had the Cell extra story. I don't know if you remember this at all.
I don't remember it in Budokai 1. I remember in 2 had the what ifs as well, didn't it? Like 2
Yeah,
had loads of
it
what ifs
did,
that were like
yeah.
amazing. That's where you could get like what was it? You could get Tiencha and
The Boo absorptions with Cell and Freezer as well.
yeah, or you could
had
get what was it? Different cell absorptions as well. Like
Yeah.
you could get like Cellin or something.
See, that's the thing. Cell was in 1. That's what I
Okay.
remember.
I can't remember
Yeah.
which one is which, because like my first Budokai was 3, and then I
Okay.
went back. Like
I
my
see.
cousin bought Budokai 3, completed it, and gave it to me, and so I played the best one first, and then because it's got a massive 3 on the cover, I went and bought secondhand like the first 2, and then played backwards essentially. So yeah, it was an interesting experience to say the least.
But no, those games are brilliant. I think they set the way for free, which I think we both want to talk about free right now. Let's talk about free.
3, if you've experienced it, at least from back in the day, most people will probably agree that 3 is the best Dragon Ball game we've had. And I obviously I know nowadays it really isn't, but seriously, nostalgia wise, it's my favorite game. It's my favorite 3D fighter we've ever had of Dragon Ball. Like, I break it down into different genres because I've enjoyed so many Dragon Ball games in different genres. But like the traditional like fighting, like arena fighter, Budokai 3 is hands down the best to me.
I mean, yeah, I completely agree. Like, there's so many good things about this game. Like, I think you start it off and you go into the story mode of Budokai 3, and you're Goku flying around the Dragon Ball world, going to different bits and like trying to like
and there's
picking up
what
different
if stories and like secret fights on the map. You don't have to go into a separate mode for that. You can find Dragon Balls. You can fight Cybermen and just random enemies to level up your character. And this was the other cool thing. I never actually did it, but you level up your characters through playing story mode, and it gave you a little password. If you gave that password to someone else, because if you completed the game, I can't remember the conditions, but you unlocked like the red ribbon tower, like muscle tower. If you typed in somebody else's password, that version, their character, their build is then put in your game, and you can fight an AI with that like power set and moveset and stuff. But I never knew anyone who had the game, so I couldn't do it.
I didn't know that's what the code was for.
Yeah, that's what
I
it
saw
was
the code
for.
and I was like, what the fuck is this? This is really long ass code. I'm not fucking writing this down.
Yeah, I learned years and years later, but that's what it's for. So if I knew you back then, I could have given you a code, although it would have just been for a Goku because I think I completed Goku's story mode like probably well over 20 to 30 times. I just played it non-stop. I did it all the time because that was also thanks to the capsule system brought into the second one with characters like Goku. If you completed it enough times to get the Dragon Balls, you could get a capsule called Breakthrough, and that meant you had all the transformations. So you would just power up until a certain point, you had enough ki, and then you would hit the button combo, and you would just transform again. So you could go Kaioken, Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3, Super Saiyan 4. It went all the way up to 4, and it was awesome. If you wanted to do the different fusions, you had to like swap out the capsule, which was annoying. But I get that, because then otherwise Goku and Vegeta would just be like the most OP characters in the whole thing. But they had loads of characters. You could play as original movie Broly as well in Budokai 3. You could play as Cell Juniors. I don't know why you would do that, but you could do that in there too. It was really cool. You had original Goku, like Kid Goku from original Dragon Ball in it as well. Like, you had loads and loads of characters. And
Omega
it was really,
Shinron
really
as well.
cool. Yeah. Omega Shinron, but that was a secret one. You had to, what was it? You had to unlock Muscle Tower and then get to like, what? I think it was like level 50 or something.
I think so, yeah. God, like that's what really felt special about this game is just like it was especially what you're saying about Kid Goku as well. It kind of felt like it just covered like so much of the whole like Dragon Ball like universe at the time.
Yeah,
like,
it was probably the most comprehensive game we had at the time, because not only did you play Goku's story, if you picked another character like Vegeta or whatever, you could play through all of their fights and everything that they experienced in the Dragon Ball universe up until the Buu saga, like just as them. Some stories were shorter and some weren't. A lot of characters didn't actually have story modes, because let's face it, a lot of them don't really do anything unless Goku's there.
Let's face it though, Nathan, there is one part of that story mode which just infuriates me to no end, and that is Tien's story mode, where you go through all the Tien fights. It's all fine up until you fight Super Buu when he's absorbed Gohan. Do you remember this at all?
I don't remember that.
I'll tell you why I fucking hate it. Because you're Tien fighting fucking Buu, who's got so much health. He's got about four times more health than you. and he is kicking your ass regardless. I don't know how much you like put in the stats or whatever, like upgrade him as much as you can. You're getting fucking dicked because Super Boo's like coming at you hard. And I've no word of a lie. I think I counted the amount of times I tried to do this fight. I died like 37 times.
Wow.
I died 37 times like, as TN. And it just gets to the point where it's so infuriating because you have to just keep spamming fucking Dodon Ray at one point. Like, I don't know if I'm being a scrub here, but like it just felt like so rage inducing.
I do remember some of that game being pretty, like, at times that game could be really hard, and at times it was super easy.
Yeah. It's like, I think it's like when you go up against like the Cybermen or something, you can just like literally punch them twice or like just do a Kamehameha and they just die. Like, there was like certain bits like that. But God, I remember that and it was just, I hated it. I hated it so much. But yeah, like the story mode and again, the music, even though it was plagiarized, it was like so fucking good at the time. And like the characters, we had Bardock as well.
Yeah.
Bardock in there.
Yeah, Bardock in there, that was crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, that game was really cool at the time because it had so much in it. You had a little bit of GT, obviously you had all of Dragon Ball Z, you had a little bit of original Dragon Ball, and then you've got some movie stuff in there. Like we said before, you were Broly, you've got Bardock. I think you could get Turles as well.
Possibly. I think Turles came into Tenkaichi, I think.
I know, because I remember talking to someone about Turles. I think you could get Turles as well. So, you know.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
That's already, counting Goten as well, that's 5 Gokus.
It's a lot of Gokus.
Still about on par with Fighters.
I think Fighters is just like, I just think they're just doing it for the meme at this point. Like, how many forms or variations of Goku can they just like throw in there? You had Gogeta as well in that one, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, jeez, I remember that.
You could go all the way to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta if you had Breakthrough or Super Saiyan 4 for both Goku and Vegeta, and then you fused.
Yeah.
Then you could get Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. That was cool.
There's so much in that game, man. Just looking back at it, and then I think there's like little like, as you said, like what if stories. I think there's one where Gogeta and Vegito meet at one point.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
Yeah. Like, oh man, there's so many good points. I just want to go back and replay it now. My PS3 is dead though, so I don't have the game on that. My Xbox is dead as well.
I'd have to play it on my PlayStation 2.
Oh god, I tell you what, like this is one thing I was going to bring up earlier as well. It's the rock paper scissors system that they had in there. I don't know if you like. I'd say rock paper scissors. It was like the button thing where you have to anticipate what your opponent's gonna press.
Yeah. The Dragon Rush.
The Dragon Rush. That was it. Like I love that. I actually love that mechanic.
I hate that. Because I lost all the time. That's why I hated it. Because I sucked at it.
I think just because I like randomness, like when I'm like sometimes in games.
That's what I hated. You have a 1 in 3, and somehow I fucked it up every time.
Yeah. Oh,
or do you remember doing your ultimate moves and like having to do that quick bar thing?
Yes, where you're just mashing buttons like crazy.
I genuinely got super good at that at one point, where I basically never lost one of those.
Yeah. I think I'm pretty sure I got blisters at one point from doing these things.
Which meant I saw like Super Dragon Fist like a lot.
oh god, yeah, that's like a cool one.
I just had a Goku voice line go through my head because we were just talking about the super move for Super Dragon Fist. Do you remember? So it was like the bars are building up, right? And then you have to hit it to get more than the other guy or the other character. And Goku's charging his spirit bomb. And he's like, the energy's fading.
Oh god, yeah, I remember this like that. The moment you said that. What was it? Isn't there like one where Cell does a spirit bomb or something?
I don't remember that.
There's one game, I don't know if it is Budokai 3, but like in one game, Cell can use Spirit Bomb, and he literally says, "Give me your stupid energy."
It gives me vibes of Vegeta at the end of Z. You know, when he's like, "What's wrong with you people? He saved the world so many times, and now he just needs a little help." And everyone's like, who is this guy? He's rude. I'm not giving him my energy. But then Hercule comes on and he's like, why are you people stupid? And they're all like, hey, it's the champ. I'll give my energy. And he's like, dude, he just did the same thing as Vegeta. And you're like, yeah, Hercule, man. I'll give my energy for him.
God. Right. I just love that. The whole series is so cool. Like, literally, there's this one moment, the one moment that just crossed my mind. It's not even to do with Dragon Ball games, to be fair. But, like, it's the fact that Mr. Satan / Hercule is there. And, like, he's completely redeemed from the start, like, from the Cell Saga to the end of Buu Saga. Like, for the whole thing, you think he's a bit of a dick. But, like, he's completely redeemed by the end of that saga. And, like, he has a purpose, and that just came into my mind right now. That's so wholesome.
All I will say is, the only way I would describe Hercule is he is a necessary evil in the Dragon world, right? Because think about it. Tangent, we're not talking about games anymore. He first joins and you're like, what a dickhead, because he's like, oh, it's all smoke and mirrors, and he takes credit for the kill. And then he like gets to know people and they let him win because, you know, it's easier to have him as the champ because then they can abuse his money. And he's willing to let them abuse his money so that he can keep being famous. Really, if you think about it, he's just a necessary evil for the Dragon team. Like, for all the Z fighters, because then they're like, Hercule will just pay for it or whatever. Bulma will sort us out. But, like, Hercule also is like, please let me win. I'll give you half the money or all the money. Yeah. Please. Without you guys, I'm nothing.
He's such a cool character by Super, though, like, at the end of it. Like, because then obviously he makes that friendship with Majin Buu, and it's like, he's just like, it's mad how, like, he got turned around like that. Like, it's never really crossed my mind this much before. Like, but yeah. That's, off the topic of Dragon Ball games. Because, again, Hercule was a playable character in Budokai 3 as well.
Yes. Hercule is actually surprisingly, like, a playable character in a lot of games.
Like, well, he's in Ultimate Battle 22. That's going back to that.
He's in a lot of the modern ones as well.
Yeah.
With his fucking rolling Hercule, whatever, and his dynamite kick.
Yeah, he's not in Fighters, though. He's not in Fighters.
Yeah,
yet.
He doesn't need to be. Okay, yeah, okay. I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
If we do get a season 4 pass, I don't know who exactly would be in it, because I feel like they're really, like, scraping the barrel at this point.
Well, another Goku, and and then Hercule.
Tellers isn't in here, is he? Tellers isn't the character yet, is he?
There you go. Not a Goku.
Another Goku. Okay, hold on. Because this is Dragon Ball games, and we're talking about fighters. Let's talk about fighters a little bit, because I feel like it does need a little bit of credit where credit's due. Because I actually think this is probably my favorite Dragon Ball games since Budokai 3.
In terms of fighters, and especially because it's 2.5D, it is actually, I will agree, it's the best fighter we've had since Budokai. It's easily, hands down, beats everything else. People have tried, and they've sort of done okay, but fighters is just, it is the definitive Dragon Ball fighting game.
Yeah, I think so. Like, I think what Budokai 3 was, I don't think we're going to get anything like that again. If we get a Budokai, imagine if we got a Budokai 4 like right now, that'd be fucking insane.
That would be, but I don't know, man. They kind of ruined it because like Budokai ended with essentially Shin Budokai 2 on PSP, right? That was the last one.
I remember that.
That was the last one that really kind of had the Budokai name and fighting style, and then it was then it kind of became the Tenkaichi, Tenkaichi series, and that was kind of trash. It wasn't great.
It really wasn't.
And then they kind of floundered around with the series. Like, right now it's basically Fighters, Xenoverse, Kakarot, and Xenoverse is pretty decent. Lots of room for improvement, but Xenoverse is the closest we'll have to Budokai 3. That's where it essentially evolved to, is Xenoverse. Whereas like things like Legacy of Goku and like Attack of the Saiyans on the DS evolved into like Kakarot. That sort of RPG style Dragon Ball. And then Fighters is like its own thing. because they've put out like 2D-ish fight, like 2D fighters and that alongside all these other games that have come out throughout the history. But like the fighting game never really super stuck, like the hardcore fighters, because most people just probably didn't want to get good with, didn't want to put in the time to get good. And they used to be really complicated because it was like trying to emulate like Street Fighter or whatever, but like fighters, you don't have to be good at fighting games to look cool in fighters. They put in the easy systems and they're like, you don't have to switch, like in our previous episodes where Pepe was talking about playing Blaze Blue online and playing stylish. Like that's not a thing, because if you want, you just mash square or triangle and you do built-in combos. But as far as anyone knows, you pulled that off on your own. You knew all the moves. I mean, it's kind of obvious who's trying to pull off moves and who isn't. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I get that. I'd still say it's good, and like the music in it's quite good as well. Even though I think I've got the anime music pass, so I just listen to all the Dragon Ball music when I play Foot Fighters.
I don't really listen to the music when I'm playing, mainly because I'm playing against you, so I'm too busy like screaming down the headset.
Yeah.
Screaming obscenities at you.
There's one character that like I get really ragey at you because you do Android 16 and the fucking the dive bomb,
Power bomb.
Yeah, that thing that is infuriating. But there's one thing I can't remember what character it is now, but like I'm able to. It might be Broly, the new Broly.
I hate playing against either Brolys because they are very difficult to fight against because they've got really good combos, and original Broly has super armor. Not many other characters have super armor. What the shit is that? It's alright. I'll just play as Tien and I'll volleyball fist you to death.
Oh, that's infuriating as well. Yeah, okay, cool. Okay, so on the topic of fighters, let's go for this then. If you were to have a Season 4 pass with 5 characters available in that, who would be your go-to characters?
Oh, that's hard because I'd have to think of who's already in it, and I don't know off the top of my head who's already in it. I would put Tapion, just because.
Oh wow, okay.
It's random and it's kind of cool.
Yeah, okay,
I want Casserole, the Pride Trooper. He would be cool.
Which one's he again?
He was the captain, the guy with the eyepiece thing.
Oh
and,
wow, okay.
Turned his key into weapons.
Yeah,
that would be cool. I want Whis, just because it'd be interesting.
Yeah, that'd be good.
And then we haven't seen a whole lot of him in Super, but Granola, I want to see him.
That'd be cool.
How many is that?
You got 4 so far. You need 1 more.
Oh, okay, 1 more. Who else do I want? This is hard. Oob, there you go.
Oob's a good one. Okay, I get that.
I'm gonna be really weird and specify Kid Oob.
Kid Oob. Yeah, not the GT one. That's like
no. Not one that's been trained. Just Kid Oob.
It did make me a bit curious why you chose Casserole over Dispo and Topo, who aren't actually in the game yet.
Because
that's quite an interesting one.
Because he's cool. At least I thought so. But also, if you think of the Pride Troopers, you just think of those 3, like you just said, Dispo, Topo, and what's his face? Jiren. That's it. But Casserole was really cool in the series as well. The only other Tournament of Power character I would pick is, I forget his name, but who was the Power Ranger guy? He was like a police officer. He had the R on it. He fought Vegeta and he like changed colors. He'd be cool.
Wow, that's like quite interesting. Okay, fair.
I forget his name.
I can't remember his name. Like it's like I was gonna say Captain N, but that's definitely not Captain N.
Yes, Captain Nintendo.
There you go, Nathan. There's one for you. You get Shaggy Blanco.
Oh yeah, and whilst we're at it, let's put in El Hermano.
El Hermano. If you guys know the reference to that, props to you. So okay, if I was going to choose 5, I'd say I'd go for Moro for one.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'd want more because then it'd be a great introduction to like bring back the series when Super decides to come back as well, like when that happens. So I'd want more. Um, I'd really want a original Dragon Ball character, like like the you could say, oh yeah, let's go for like Kid Goku, but Kid Goku's already in it and he's gone GT form with the power pole, which is
Yes.
just like it just feels a bit weird that GT Goku has a power pole, but
I actually figured out why that is. Because there was a in Japan there was one more movie released where they basically used the GT graphics, right? It's the GT style, and redid as a movie like a lot of early Dragon Ball. So like one of the first things you see is Goku meeting Bulma, but he looks like GT style.
yeah.
That's why it's also because cut corners.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. Still, like,
Who
yeah,
would
what
you
was I
have
saying?
though from original Dragon Ball?
I don't know. That's the thing. I'd love to have like a Red Ribbon Army guy in it, or like
I
Tao
was
Pai
gonna.
Pai.
Oh yeah.
That'd be cool. That'd be a cool one. Like, I mean, he's very much redundant now in the whole series, but that'd be
Well, I
cool.
mean, by that logic, why would you then pick someone from the Red Ribbon Army? Like
Yeah,
General Blue. Like, why would you put him in it?
yeah,
He's redundant,
exactly.
but
Or what's his face? King Piccolo would be a cool one to have.
yeah, that's a pretty obvious one.
Yeah. That'd be cool. So if I was to choose someone from Dragon Ball, I feel like, oh yeah, as though they said it's a bit obvious. I think King Piccolo would be cool to have, and like another Piccolo as well. We don't have many Nameks in there. I feel like Piccolo's the only Namek in fighters, isn't he?
Yes,
We don't.
he is.
Yeah.
We don't even have Nail.
Yeah, fucking nail. Don't want nail.
Hey, I mean, what? There's like 5 Namekians you know the names of that also
Yeah.
happen to be part of the Warriors, the Warrior clan.
Yeah.
Like they're not the healers, so you really don't have that much choice there, unless you pick one of the 2 from the Tournament of Power.
That's true. Yeah, I don't even remember what their names are. No clue.
One of them starts with an S and one starts with a P. Salt and Pepper, done.
It's Salt and Pepper. No, they're
No,
the bloody
it's not,
filler
but-
characters. We're not going for Garlic Jr. Fucking bring back Garlic Jr.
Yeah, there you go. People love Garlic Jr.
Did
He's the
they?
best. Garlic Jr. in the Dead Zone. Yeah, people love it.
God, yeah, that was something. Jesus Christ. Okay, so I've got Moro. I've got King Piccolo. I'm gonna say Hercule. I'd love to see Hercule make a comeback in this.
I didn't want to say it. I almost
Yeah.
said it, but I knew.
Like just like the Ultimate Battle 22 thing, like just having like that version. That'd be like
Throwing
That'd be
C4
quite
and grenades, yeah.
yeah. Weirdly enough, I'd love to see a Super Boo. Basically, so we've got Kid Boo, we've got Margin Boo, but I'd love to have Super Boo where he's like using his like absorption things, like sort of where he like
Yeah.
uses like the Gohan version and
The Piccolo
Gotenks,
version or the
yeah.
Gotenks version. A lot
Yeah.
of people actually, I think, forget that he did absorb Piccolo at one point. Okay, you've got one more character.
Have I?
Yeah.
Shit. You forgot. Oh yeah, I said Super Boo, didn't I? I was like, wait, what did I say? One more character. I do kind of want to go for a movie character. I feel.
Turtles.
Nah, Turtles ain't doing it for me. Turtles ain't doing that. Nah, like, I don't. I can't do that. I can't do it. Oh god. Movie character. There's got to be a cool one. This.
Paragus.
Fucking Paragus. Jesus Christ.
Broly Sama! They killed your dad!
You know, I'm gonna scrap the movie character idea. I'm gonna go Topo. I think Topo deserves a spot.
Yeah, I feel like Topo's a bit played out now. But
Yeah, it's he's only been in Xenoverse, I think, as DLC. I don't know about the mobile games. He probably is available in mobile.
yeah,
games,
he's in Dokkan Battle and Legends.
but yeah, I think those would be my characters if I could choose. Like,
Wait, I want to change one of mine. I don't know which one. I'm gonna take out Oob because that's the last one I remember saying. I want to put in Gine, Goku's mom. She wasn't a fighter,
wow.
but there you go. Gine, done.
Yeah, more female representation as well. That'd be sick. I can appreciate that.
You.
No, like, making a moveset for that character as well would be really cool. Or Reddit,
Again.
fuck Reddit.
Yeah, Raditz isn't even in it, but
Oh man, I do kind of low key want Raditz, but he doesn't have any moves. The guy
yeah, he
don't
does.
have no moves.
Double Sunday.
Double Sunday's made up, and we all know it.
Why are you hating on Double Sunday, bruh?
Oh, I'd love to see fucking because you've got Nappa in there, and Nappa arguably does have moves, but like
Yeah,
I feel
but
like
like
Raditz is like from
none
the
of the
start.
moves.
Like,
All the moves are made up names, like Bomber DX. When did he ever go Bomber DX?
he had a flash cannon, didn't he? But he doesn't name
Yeah,
any of
but
his moves. Does he?
I know, but that's like Vegeta at that. Do you remember Dirty Fireworks? When did he ever scream Dirty Fireworks?
It's a very good point. I wonder if that's the official name of it. If Toriyama then, yeah, this move's called Dirty Fireworks.
I really hope not. Like, fuck you, Quee, Dirty Fireworks.
Toriyama's just like, yeah, there you go, just give him that. He's got Gallic gun here, just give him fucking Dirty Fireworks as well.
Well, it's better than fucking Raditz's whole moveset, made up moveset, is just the days of the week, isn't it?
Oh, it is. Especially, that's what I remember from Budokai 1. That I was like, oh my god.
I think I
like,
remember that from fucking Xenoverse too.
Yeah. Oh god, there's just thing. It's horrible. I do want Raditz in it, but like it's just reality. Let's face it, he was just there to set up the whole Saiyan Saga plot. Like
Also to Double Sunday.
to Double Sunday. Stop saying it.
Saying what? I'm just saying Double Sunday.
Freaking
Double Sunday.
Yeah. Right. That's it, Nathan. You just single-handedly ended the episode for me with your double Sundays.
I'll end it on a Double Sunday. I don't care.
Cool. Yeah, that's the thing now. He's just screaming double Sunday at me, and that's it, guys. This is the last ever. This is the last ever Cultured Boys episode where I'm never returning.
Wow, I think this is the first time I've made you rage quit the episode. Normally it's the other way around.
I'm walking out. I'm doing a Piers Morgan. I'm fucking off. I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh wow, British reference. Thanks for listening, watching. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, guys. Leave us a comment about why Double Sunday is best so Pepe can see it. And with that, I leave you with a final Double Sunday!